Hey, and welcome everyone to our video guide. It's Ned from Caspio. In this quick video, I'm going to explain how groups and permissions work inside Caspio. So if you have an internal team and you need help building and managing your applications, you have unlimited developer seats that you can invite to your account and give them permissions to what they can do. Now, it's very simple to begin. All you need to do is invite the user to your account. So if I click on that button, I can choose to invite maybe Beth at company.com. And then by default, you're going to be able to see these three groups that are already inside your Caspio account. And by default, you also have to select one of the groups if you'd like. Now, before I invite Beth to my account, let's quickly go through each one of these groups so that you can see the permissions, the default permissions assigned to each group. I'm going to cancel. Let's go to the tab called Groups. And the first one that we have is the administrators. Now, as we all know, the administrators have access to do everything inside the account, meaning they can update tables, they can delete applications, they can read the data, they can update the data. So even if you expand each one of these objects inside your Caspio account, for example, all applications, you're going to be able to see that by default, all of the checkboxes are checked. If I expand any other object, let's say tables, you're going to be able to see that this user is going to be able to do anything inside the account. Full control. They have the ability to design the table, read the data, update data, insert data, etc. So just know that if you invite the user to your account and you place them in the admin group, they'll be able to do anything inside the account. So be careful with that. The next group that we have is called Everyone. And this group is very limited in terms of permissions. As you can see under all applications, if I place somebody inside the Everyone group, all they're going to be able to do is read the applications, meaning they're not going to be able to delete any of your apps. They won't be able to modify the app. And even in the other objects, let's say tables. So for all tables, you can see the permissions. We have the ability to read the data, update data, insert data, and delete data from the table. Now, you could also modify these permissions for the Everyone group if you'd like. You can uncheck these boxes if you don't want the group called Everyone to have the ability to delete the data. And just go through each one of these objects and you're going to be able to see the list of permissions assigned to each object inside the Caspio account. And the final group that we have by default inside the account is App Managers. And this group only has access to applications and not any of the other objects. So if I add somebody to this group, this person is going to be able to gain access to all of the applications and they can actually read the app, modify the app, delete the app, and also manage permissions for that application. Now, here's what I like to do. This is a personal preference because when I've added users to my account in the past, no two users really ultimately have the same level of permissions. So I like to set the permissions on the user level, not on the group level. But it's completely up to you. If you have the same users and you want them to have access with the same permissions, you can create these groups. Here's what I like to do. Inside the Everyone group, I'll click on Permissions, and I will strip all the permissions from this group, meaning I don't want this user to have the ability to read the apps. Data pages are already disabled. Directories, I will uncheck all these boxes for each one of my objects, including my tables. As you can see, I'm unchecking all the boxes. The reason why I like to do that is when I add somebody to this group called Everyone, by default, they're not going to be able to do anything inside my account, and I can edit their individual account, which you'll see in just a moment, and give them access to specific things on the table level, application level, data page level, etc. So once I click OK, I'm going to save my changes to my permissions. Then I will navigate back to my account users, and let's go ahead and invite somebody to my account. Let's say John Doe at company.com. And now I will place John inside a group called Everyone. Unless I want to give him admin access, you can do that as well. So if I add him to this group called Everyone and I click Invite, John is going to have to check his inbox, accept my invite, and then you're going to be able to see the status active. And now let me show you what I like to do. I like to set the permissions on the individual level. So when I click on this link, you're going to see two columns. You're going to see the group's permissions on the right-hand side, and you're going to be able to see the user permissions on the left-hand side. Because I unchecked this box earlier to read the app, you can now see the group's permissions for Everyone. That's been removed. If I go to my tables, you will see nothing has been checked, meaning that if John logs into my account now, he won't be able to do anything. I have full control in terms of granular permissions just on his single account. So if I click on Applications, and I expand this object, now I can say I only want John to have access to my applicant tracking application, and maybe I give him full control over that app. But as for the other applications, he won't be able to see those inside my account. So I will uncheck that, for example, and let's just say I want John to be able to read the app only. In other words, just open the application to be able to see the objects for that application. Let's close this object and let's go over to tables. Now I can find the tables that I want to give him access to edit. So for example, if I look at this table called CRM logs, you can see that I can now control what type of access he has on that table. I can give him full control, or I can now check individual boxes if I want him to read the data and only update the data. And now as I add additional users to my account, I always initially place them inside a group called everyone, because initially they won't have access to do anything. And then I'll click on the link permissions and go through each one of my objects to fine tune their permissions and what they're going to be able to do inside my account. But like I said earlier, it's up to you. You can also have groups as long as those users have the same exact permissions when they log inside your account. Thanks for watching our video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for additional Caspio news and content and tutorials. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.